I guess this video is going to be titled something like, "We need to recognize the enemy within," or something like this, because it's getting to that point where we really do, as I would say a country, the UK, but also the Anglosphere in general, we need to start recognizing that the people that we're bringing into our country, and I say we, right, we're vehemently opposed to it, but the leaders, these people that control us for some reason, we've allowed them to control us, they're bringing in people that hate us. I think this is self-evident at this point. We've seen recently another attack in the south of France, 10 dead, at least 19 injured after a car ram attack at a Christmas market. And we saw those bollards, the bollards of peace being erected everywhere, those peaceful Lego sets erected around our markets. Still wasn't enough, guys. When I watched this video, by the way, I mean, if you look at it, I thought this was Africa. Like, you couldn't tell me that this is France. There's like there's one white person here. I'm sure the people that were killed, majority white. I can't be honest with that. I can't say that's a truth. But I'm looking at this and thinking, is this France? Doesn't look like France. It looks like fucking Mogadishu or something. She's almost got my logo on her back of Dinobane. She's got the Dinobane logo right there. But like, guys, what is this? This is not southern France. There's one white person right there, and the rest are just Africans. Do you want this to be the future of Europe, of the UK? Just a bunch of Africans getting killed by some jihadis or whatever? I'm assuming, right? Because let's be honest, it probably is the case. This was a Islamist attack. They plowed a car of peace through a bunch of people. But I'm just looking at this going, well, is this England? Is this France? Is this Europe? Is this our future? What does this mean exactly? I don't want to live in Africa, guys. I don't want to live in Mogadishu. I don't want to live in northern Iraq. This guy's wearing some kind of junta hat. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, the point is, another attack on European soil. I guess we can call it that still, European soil. Doesn't look like Europe. European soil. Anyway, point is, here's Zach Polanski again, the gap-toothed, homosexual, Jewish Polak that is in charge of a political party in the UK, as crazy as that sounds. He's going to now tell you why immigrants are useful and we need them.
1 in 5 care workers are foreign nationals. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't particularly want to wipe someone's bum. And I'm very grateful for the people who do this work, this really important work, whether it's in the care sector, whether it's in the...
Oh, look at this absolute crazy bitch here. We'll get to her in a second.
NHS. 1 in 5 care workers are foreign nationals. Now,
Who
I
cares?
don't know about you, but I don't particularly want to wipe someone's bum. And I'm very grateful for the people who do this.
He said that twice. He said that twice, guys. He doesn't want to wipe someone's bum. A homosexual Jewish Polak doesn't want to wipe someone's bum. I'm pretty sure he has. I'm pretty sure he's licked someone's arsehole before. Never mind wiped it. So, fuck me. Right, moving on. I don't want to get too... It reminds me of this. You know, you all remember this, right?
If you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that,
No.
you know what I mean? Like, when I'm saying
There's more jobs to be
in LA...
Yeah, even the black people realise that's a step too far. You can't actually say the thing that we're all thinking. Like, we're just bringing these people here as a slave class, a underclass that we can exploit as giant conglomerates, or the upper middle class that just want to pay people less money for wiping their ass, cleaning their toilets. No, we can't say that. You can't say it out loud. You can think it, but you just can't say it out loud. There was a case recently that really pissed me off, and it should piss you off too. This is the moment a judge in the Netherlands handed a migrant end-of-lifer of a little girl just 120 hours community service as a punishment. And the father, rightly so, flipped the fuck out.
Based on the foregoing and considering the penalties usually imposed for similar cases, the court is of the opinion that Verbarkten should be given an unconditional community service for the duration of 120
He killed a little girl.
hours sub judice per data hecticus.
Look at the guy. The guy is being treated like the criminal. The father who lost his child to a murderer that this judge, this disgusting gap-toothed ginger bitch, decided that the only punishment the guy should receive is 120 hours community service. Again, I want to reiterate the point. We have enemies right now in our country that look like us, pretend that they're in positions of power, pretend that they're supposed to be the arbiters of justice, and they are the opposite. They're allowing these people to do this, and they're not even giving them punishments anymore. And I think eventually what they'll say is, actually, this is happening, and you have to accept it. A little bit like Siddiq Khan was once caught on camera saying, well, actually, if you want a Western country, if you want a Western city in the modern day, you have to accept the Islamic extremist elements. You have to accept that there will be mass suicide bombings and mass killings by car rammings, because that's what it means to have a Western liberal civilization. I hate these people with a passion. I probably hate these people more than the people that are doing this to us. They're the gatekeepers that are opening the door, and I'm tired of them. Here's Siddiq Khan right now trying to pretend to give a shit about Christianity. He's supposed to be engaging in a Christian tradition, which is singing hymns at Christmas time. A wonderfully wholesome tradition. Now, those words are an anathema to Islam. Wholesome? Nah. How about you just go target some children in a playground and choose which one you want to grape this month, or you want to ram some people with the car of peace? That's the Islamic tradition that we're getting used to. That's why the bollards of peace come up every year, because we're used to the tradition of violence and hate from this ideology. Let's listen, let's watch him. Look at that big-nosed twat. Absolutely hates you, hates Christendom, hates the idea of the West. Really, really hates all of you guys. Now, I can't say that that's 100% true, because I don't know this guy. I don't know Siddiq Khan. I just judge people on their actions, and every action that I see from this guy, from this Pakistani Muslim, is that he fucking hates you. So YouTube, like you wanna come after me, that's fine, but this is just my opinion. From looking at this guy's actions over a decade now, the things he said, the things that he does, all seem to indicate that he hates every single one of us. Now, you might have. This will get me demonetized on this video, the same as the last one. For some reason, the BBC have decided that a publicly funded organisation has a right to copyright strike independent YouTube creators. That's kind of fucking crazy. They're paid money by the government and the taxpayers to create content that they then copyright against the people that criticise them. Let's listen to some of the leftists, the crazy people in the audience that seem to think that they can justify the mass invasion of this country.
We were in one of the horrific circumstances. Do you think these countries let us in? I do. I think that...
You think they would let us in?
Yeah, I think that we've got to show a bit of compassion.
A bit of compassion, humanity.
Last year, more than...
That woman can't even control her own fucking face.
The horrific circumstances. Do you think these countries let us in. I do. I think.
Yeah, let's listen to this crazy bitch. Everyone, this is the arbiter of sensible immigration policy in the West. Listen to... I wouldn't trust this woman to tell me how to deliver my mail. I wouldn't trust this woman to tell me how to walk across the street. I wouldn't trust this woman to tell me how to wear some fucking spectacles or to control my own fucking lips. This is mental. Look at her.
That.
You think they would let us in?
Yeah, I think that we've got to show a bit of compassion.
Yeah.
Compassion, humanity.
Last year,
Fucking can't be arsed. I can't be arsed with this shit. Why? Why are we giving airtime to lunatics?
more than 70 migrants, men, women, young children, even babies.
Homosexual? A guy that wants to watch his wife being reamed by a black guy while he sits in the corner jacking off. A guy that is a incelibate, a involuntary celibate, an incel. I mean, what kind of person is this?
Babies died. They drowned. They were crushed to death. Do we stop caring? Is this compassion?
Yes, we do. We stop caring. We tell them to fuck off. I don't care if your children die or drown crossing the channel. Fuck off. Go back to your country. Do not try the crossing. I do not have any compassion. Compassion is empty. Using malicious altruism to trick me into caring about the destruction of my own country will not work anymore. I do not care about these immigrants. I do not care about you, sir. You, sir, with your weird fucking lump that's growing on your... What is that? What is that? It's disgusting.
Compassion fatigue, or
Are
we
you-
just
are you-
ignore?
You got another one there. Like, is it like the more lumps you have growing on your face, the more compassionate you get?
Are you talking from personal experience? I'm just wondering.
Yes, I volunteer with the Coast Guard.
When we build these houses for local communities rather than property developers who can land bank and sit on assets, but actually build homes that
Yeah. Let's listen to the homosexual Jewish Polak. That's the arbiter of truth in the UK. This guy that literally reams people. Let's listen to him.
people can live in. This is how we integrate communities. This is how we change.
This guy is too ugly for politics. It's impossible for this guy to be elected. He is far too ugly, far too radical, and far too anti-British to ever be elected in politics. I don't know why they're everywhere. They're all the way. They're all on the mainstream media. Everywhere you look, you see this gap tooth fucking freak, right? And you see the Mohammed Yusuf everywhere. Nigel Farage is super quiet for some reason because he knows that he's not the real leader of that party. Anyway, let's listen to this fucking freak.
Change the conversation. Let's change the conversation on migration, and let's start right now.
Talk that there are enough people in the United Kingdom to not need foreign doctors. I joined the NHS as a student in 1974.
There he is. There he is, right there. The Mohammedan. For some reason, again, not elected. He's not an MP. He's not a councillor. He's not a mayor. He just bought his way into the party and then purged Reform UK of anyone that was anti-Islam. Let's listen to this guy.
We've been totally reliant on doctors from Asia initially, and the care sector is totally dependent on care workers from abroad.
Language.
You know, if we didn't import people from the third world, and by the way, a lot of these people have fake doctorates, they've been proven to have fake educational standards. If we didn't import these people and then rely on them, then we wouldn't have to rely on them. We could deport them and then train our own people like we've done for thousands of years. We built the greatest civilization this world's ever seen, but now, for some fucking reason, we need to rely on third world, low IQ, racist fucking immigrants that openly talk about taking over this country. And we've got people like this in our country supporting it. We've got Sir Alex Ferguson right here looking at him like he's a piece of shit, probably thinking he's got a very large nose.
And the care sector is totally dependent on care workers from abroad.
Language we use is really dehumanising for people. We're just saying these statistics. Like, people are not statistics. If we look where they're actually coming from.
He looks Jewish.
Statistics, if we look where they're actually coming from, they're war zones. The language we use is so important towards human beings.
Everybody knows my country is not safe for us. We have a
The smiling immigrant that knows that he's doing a grift.
war, about 15 years we are living in the war. Because of that, just we come here and I just want to leave. And because of that, I come here.
Oh, and we've got the Dyke.
On the question about men coming here, I mean, this is just a straightforward fact. The reason why men often arrive in the UK on their own is because the journey is just too dangerous for women and children. When women and children go on that journey, when they're leaving a place of war and persecution, they can be subject to rape, kidnap, trafficking and slavery. And therefore often...
Why? Why? Why would they be subject to that? Is it the people that they're travelling with? So the people that are coming to the UK would literally rape women and children, right? And she's going, well, that's why there's not many women and children coming to the UK through these boats. It's because the fucking men they're travelling with would rape and kill them. But let's accept them all anyway, because they smile. Look at them. Look at the smiley little fucking Afghan there. Fuck this shit.
Kidnap, trafficking and slavery. And therefore often men come in advance in order the family can follow them.
I'm concerned about people forget about the humanitarian needs.
We don't take as many...
Look at these people. They're the rejects of humanity. They're very, like... I'm not a good-looking guy. But holy shit. These are the very worst. Like, I do believe that there might be some kind of correlation between ugliness and the acceptance of a immoral framework. The immoral framework being that we should accept rapists, we should accept murderers, we should accept the very worst of the third world because it's good. It's some kind of goodness. It's some kind of moral foundation that we should build our society up. We should, basically, what they're saying is, we should accept our own suicide as a nation, as a culture, as a people, because it's good. And I'm sure, if you dig deep enough, it's because they have some kind of white guilt that was trained and implanted upon them through decades of indoctrination by the very media that we're watching now, like the BBC.
People forget about the humanitarian needs.
We don't take as many asylum seekers as many other countries. Countries like Turkey taking...
Are you fucking kidding me? You're going to hold Turkey up as the paradigm of virtue? A country that hates Europe. An Islamist country. I can't do it, guys.
So many more than us. Why do we keep on complaining that this is such a big issue when we take in just a small percentage of these people?
How much cock do you take, sir? How much cock do you take every day? It seems like you would take a large amount of that.
Of these people.
And it wasn't just illegal immigration, though that was a huge part of it, which is why I've spent so much of the programme on it. You also wanted to talk about legal migration. So
look at her fucking power shoulders. She looks like a Power Ranger. I'm fucking Jenny. No, wait, she's not called Jenny. I forgot her name. Fiona. I'm Fiona. Power up. Immigration is our strength. Ba 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 ba. Fucking shoulders, come on. I can't be asked with these people, honestly. It's
Jenny,
ridiculous.
Regan, off you go. Where are you?
So I'd just first of all say that I don't differentiate between legal and illegal.
Okay.
Of course you don't, you psycho bitch.
So what does this obsession with cutting migration actually mean in practice?
Getting rid of people that hate us, and then we can purge all of these fifth elements from our country, and we can have a normal country again where we can leave our front doors open, unlocked, where we don't need to worry about going down the street and having our phone stolen from us and being punched in the face. We don't need to worry about migrants patrolling our schools, picking out the next young fucking victim. We can actually have a country that we're proud of. No, that's not enough for you, is it?
Someone mentioned this earlier. Poorer services, longer waiting lists and fewer...
Everything they say is a lie.
...staff.
I think it's very sad the way that we have very little care for other people. We're all humans at the end.
What about our people? You fucking boomer twat. You fake Santa Claus. You specky, boil-faced little cunt. You gap-toothed, old twat. Just die already.
At the end of the day, and I find it very sad that we have little...
As soon as I got off the train today in Dover, a woman recognised me and she said to me, "We are not obsessed."
Why do you suck so much dick? Why are your teeth so far apart? Why does your nose extend so far from your face? Why do you look hideous?
With immigration in Dover. Actually, the things we care about are our NHS, our libraries and our schools. This is an immigration special, but when are we going to have a cost of living special? Or a climate special? Or a tax for rich special?
Or an England for England. England for the English special. How about that? I've never seen that before on the BBC. England for the English. No. England for the migrants.
Well, all I would say...
Whew. That was difficult to get through. Let's listen to another foreigner. By the way, I don't like the monarchy. I don't like the monarchy. But let's listen to a foreigner, a fucking foreigner, tell us that we should abolish the monarchy.
When you've got a coffee shop and you've got a small workplace, a democratic form of ownership of that is a workers' cooperative, where workers own the shares in that company. They have better terms and conditions. The profits are shared amongst the workers, and that is a form of democratic ownership that does very well across the world, including in the UK in many cases.
And would that be something that businesses had to become?
By the way, it is kind of interesting that the BBC is pushing all of these Islamists on their programmes. This is a woman that said that she's not here for the breadcrumbs. She's going to take the fucking lot. And what she was talking about is the UK, everything about it. She wants to take the country from you and from me. But here, the BBC, I just spat a little bit. The BBC doesn't care about that.
Would that be mandatory?
Well, these are conversations that we should...
I mean, again, like that ugliness thing, the more ugly someone is, the more hideous they are to look at, the more hideous their views are.
Mandatory?
Well,
I mean, this is a literal witch, right? Put some green hair and a fucking hat on her, and she is the stereotypical witch. And another boil on the face right there. These people, they have the same characteristics, guys.
Well, these are conversations...
Wait, was that just one boil? No, there's a boil there, there's a boil there, there's a massive fucking giant hook nose.
Well, these are conversations that we should have about what forms of ownership we should have in our economy. And right now, we don't have very many democratic forms of ownership. When we look across Latin America, you've got workers' cooperatives, you've got community land trusts, you've got all of these different forms. We need...
Ignore what she just said. She's an idiot. But I do agree with one thing. We need to change the way that ownership works in the UK. Like, a foreigner should not be able to own land. A foreigner should not be able to be represented in Parliament. A foreigner should remain a foreigner, a second-class citizen, a person that is not able to accrue power and wealth and political power. I said power too many times, but you get what I'm talking about, right? The foreigners should not be allowed to do what they're doing. You go to any other country on the planet, and you will not see the shit that is happening in our country when it comes to foreigners being able to grab power, own companies, divest wealth and sovereignty away from this nation to their homelands and their own people. You just don't see this. The UK is really fucking weird, and I don't like it.
We need to have conversations about how we can democratise our economy, but also...
mandatory might be an option.
It has to be something that we have a conversation about.
Disgusting woman.
Obviously, the party does not have policies yet, but it's important that we articulate a different vision of society and an economy. And actually, that extends not just to corporations and businesses and our public services. It's also questions around the monarchy. When you've got a royal family with a sovereign grant that will increase to £132 million next year, and you've got Prince Andrew, who's had £12 million of taxpayers' money to defend his legal costs, a close friend of Jeffrey Epstein.
That is a Pakistani Muslim lecturing the British people on nonsense. 250,000 young girls raped in the UK by her ilk, lecturing us on controlling nonces. Now, I'm not in favour of the monarchy. I don't particularly like them very much. I don't think they do very much for this country. I think King Charles is a bit of a fucking traitor. And we know what we do with traitors in this country, don't we? But being lectured to by a morally bankrupt ideology, which she represents, is kind of ridiculous. I mean, look at this. They've got a Labour Muslim network. You just can't make this up. Imagine we had this our way. The English First, the English Christian Network, the English Christian Labour Network. No, it doesn't exist, does it? Because they would call it racist. They can do it, though. Elon Musk is kind of getting on this. He's tweeted out something. When does it become genocide? At least 400,000 children, women and men have been killed or raped by non-European migrants and refugees since 2010. That is an entire group of people that would die in a war. A war. So people go to war, they fight, and then hundreds of thousands of people die in warfare, but this is happening on the streets to normal people, to civilians, by the people that all of the other ones that I've just talked about are welcoming and saying that we should feel guilty. No, we should feel empathetic towards. I have no empathy for these people anymore. They can all go fuck off. Because as I'm seeing right now, everything about the left, the liberals, the Islamists, these radical Jewish people, the Zionists, right? All of this feels like it's being perpetrated against the white race and the white people of the Anglosphere. Every single Anglo country is being attacked at the same time using weaponized migration, using these tactics of malicious altruism to convince you to feel guilty for being white, for wanting your own country. And it feels like an inversion of the very thing that they tell you you're guilty of. And that's a very horned tactic on the left right now. They do the thing that they're telling you that you should feel guilty of. They are the Nazis. They are the Islamists. They are the Zionists. They are the people that fucking hate you while they're telling you you need to shut the fuck up, because if you don't, well, you're the thing that they are. You're the thing that they complain about. I don't really give a fuck what they think anymore. They're the enemy. You don't need a new swanky label for it. They're the enemy. They're the enemy. You all know what I want to say. You all know what I want to say here. There's things we do to enemies. And I don't want to say it because I can't say it. It's illegal to say it. But we can at least make it known to them that we know exactly what they're doing and we fucking hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I don't know if you guys do. I don't want to push you too far. I hate them. I hate these people. I hate what they're doing to the country. I hate the way that they're using language to manipulate us. I hate them. And we've got to have a reckoning eventually. We've got to have a conclusion to this eventually. And I'm just hoping that it's not going to be so far down the path where we're shocked when they're suddenly given weapons and they start just openly doing things. I'm not going to say it on YouTube. Doing things to us that are tantamount to open warfare. They all know what they're doing. We all know what they're doing. Let's start talking about it openly because we need to get them out of our countries. We need to get them out. And the tide is shifting. I understand, right? The tide is shifting, but it needs to shift faster. We need to get them out of our countries. I can't really wrap this one up because I want to say something that's super illegal, but there we go. I'm just going to leave it there. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.